Rise and shine. This is your morning Buzzcast for Monday, June 16th. I'm Austin Karp. I hope all of the dads out there had a nice Father's Day weekend. I know I did. My oldest son, Zev, had his bar mitzvah. He absolutely crushed it. Fantastic time. Very proud dad here. Ton of sporting events over Father's Day weekend as well. Kind of reminded me of that whole June 17th, 1994, that 30 for 30 that ESPN produced. You forget how much is actually going on around this time of year. That was one of my favorite, if not my favorite 30 for 30, so it kind of reminded me of that. SBJ golf writer Josh Carpenter called Sunday probably the craziest 2 hours of major championship golf he's seen, as JJ Spaun mounted a comeback to win the U.S. Open at Oakmont over Robert McIntyre, a 64-foot putt on 18 to win it. Crazy shot, but not much there in the way of household names. At the top of the leaderboard, you also had Victor Hovland there at number 3. But this is the first U.S. Open since Nielsen was able to add expanded out-of-home viewing. Lots of dads out there on Sunday, probably just watching golf at home. So we'll see if those sorts of out-of-home numbers can deliver a little bit. What I loved hearing about Spaun, a journeyman PGA Tour member, was that he started the day going to CVS at 3 a.m. because his daughter had been throwing up. Major Father's Day action there. Finished it with a major win. Talk about dad life. Happy Father's Day to JJ. And after what felt like a very slow build, the FIFA Club World Cup opened Saturday with Inter Miami and Egyptian club Al Ahly before 60,927 at Hard Rock Stadium. There were some empty seats at first, but the NFL venue in Miami looked to be filling up early in that first half. Security, obviously, extremely tight for the match, especially after the mayhem that ensued when that same venue hosted the final of Copa America last year. There was a double ring perimeter around the stadium grounds. Last week at our Brand Innovation Summit in Chicago, I talked to Alex Lazary. He helms the New York, New Jersey organizing committee for the 2026 World Cup, and he said security was far and away the biggest thing his group in particular is working on. If the venues and FIFA get that right, other things, as Lazary noted, are going to fall into line. So big focus on security, testing it out here at the Club World Cup. Some other Club World Cup games Sunday, you had over 21,000 at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati for Bayern Munich's 10-0 throttling of Auckland City. Almost 81,000 at the Rose Bowl for a higher-profile Paris Saint-Germain Atletico Madrid match. Over 46,000 at MetLife Stadium for Palmeiras and FC Porto. And the Sounders, playing at home in Seattle, drew a little over 30,000 against Botafogo. Meanwhile, on Sunday, the U.S. men's national team easily beat Trinidad and Tobago in the Concacaf Gold Cup opener, but only with an announced crowd of around 12,600 or so at the 18,000 capacity PayPal Park in San Jose. Across a dozen home matches last year, the U.S. men's national team was averaging almost 38,000 fans, which was its highest average home attendance since around 2015. So not a lot of buzz right now around this U.S. men's squad. A lot of drama with its best player, Christian Pulisic, and many other stars sitting out for this event. Also, some lingering issues with the threat of ICE agents at sporting venues across the country right now. We saw that with the Gold Cup opener. Mexico was playing at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. That kind of took a hit on some of the attendance. Hopefully, the U.S. men's squad draws a little better with some bigger opponents here with the rest of the Gold Cup. NASCAR yesterday had its first Cup Series race on foreign soil since 1958 and the first of the sport's modern era. My colleague Adam Stern noted Friday that NASCAR said ticket sales had gone well, but just checking out the race for a little bit, some weather issues, some empty pockets at the track there in Mexico City. NASCAR's Ben Kennedy, after the event, noted the logistical planning wasn't perfect, but that the sanctioning body learned things they can build on. Mexico City, obviously a huge population center to draw from. Kennedy noted 90% of fans were from Mexico, with 44% from Mexico City itself. But another step forward for NASCAR that Steve Phelps and company continue to lay out to move that sport forward into the future. We've also even now seen reports that IndyCar could also be eyeing that same track down in Mexico. Some other notes to round things out this Monday. The JJ Spaun news should have been up top right on that homepage on ESPN.com Sunday night early when that was breaking, but no, It was the Red Sox trading their star Rafael Devers, shipping him to San Francisco with 8 years or so left on a massive deal. I'm betting John Henry, Sam Kennedy, and team are glad that the Netflix cameras aren't on in the clubhouse this season. Wow, that'd have been some great drama to see. But Devers and the front office clearly were done with one another. This had caused a serious rift with the Red Sox all season. He's a great player, but this isn't exactly like the Luka Doncic trade. Coming into the season, Devers wasn't even among the 20 best-selling jerseys across MLB. In fact, no Red Sox players were on that list. You had a former player in Mookie Betts, whose Dodgers jersey is in the top 5. So looking to get some bigger names, more marketable stars there for the Red Sox in the future. The DC Defenders defeated the Michigan Panthers in the UFL Championship game in front of around 14,559 at the Dome at America Center in St. Louis. That was Saturday night. Last year, it was a crowd of 27,396 that saw Birmingham Stallions and San Antonio Brahmas, so kind of reflective of what the TV audience was for this regular season, a pretty noticeable drop for the UFL's attendance at the second title game there. With NFL number 2 Brian Rolapp likely headed to the PGA Tour, who could replace Rolapp at the Shield? As Chief Media and Business Officer, Rolapp oversaw the league's media licensing business, NFL Media, NFL Films, sponsorships, consumer products, and 32 Equity, the increasingly important investment arm for the league. My colleague, SBJ football writer Ben Fisher, has a great piece up right now looking at the names you need to know at NFL headquarters. Give that a read. Also, check out Terry Lefton's great cover story coming out today on Frank Buono. That is out as part of our Champions of Sports profiles. Heard so many great stories about Frank while we were out at the Brand Innovation Summit in Chicago. Lots of love there across the business. Also in SBJ this week, full profiles for this year's class of 40 under 40. Those folks are going to be honored November 21st at Pier 60. That's Chelsea Piers in Manhattan. So that's your morning Buzzcast for Monday, June 16th. I'm Austin Karp. Hope everyone has a fantastic start to the week. Game 5, Thunder Pacers tonight, NBA Finals on ABC. I've got the Thunder, still taking the title this year. Not so hot on the TV rating side. That was something that Adam Silver addressed, but a great series of basketball to watch so far. Make good choices out there, and I will talk to you all again soon.